Good evening, good afternoon, brethren, all around the world. Welcome to INCRadio, another episode. My name is Brother Bruce Tan from the local congregation of Kunia. Woo!
Hashtag
Yes, hashtag Kunia. And I'm so blessed to have our guests here. But before we introduce them, we would like to introduce our co-host, which is Sister.
Hi, good evening, good afternoon, and a very good evening again. My name is Sister Jimmy. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. It's been a whole week since I posted again. It's been a while since you hosted Clear.
Yes,
Good to have
so
you back.
excited.
Yeah, I miss Brother Josh, honestly. I don't know where he is. He disappeared. He left us here all alone. But if you're seeing this, Brother Josh, we miss you. But we're glad you're having a break. Hi, again, I'm Sister Julian from the locale of our common hashtag WPH. Clear Bruce, why don't you say a little fun fact about yourself?
For those who don't know me, I speak 5 Asian languages.
Oh, wow.
So,
I didn't know that. Which languages are those?
well, when I was growing up in the Philippines, I have to learn Chinese, which is Cantonese. And then I went to school and I ended up studying Tagalog and English. And then when I came to United States, I ended up studying Mandarin as well as Japanese.
Wow. And you're fluent in all five.
Yes, and because I was growing up communicating with my friends and my family, I've learned to use those. So I'm very blessed to be able to still have those qualities in me. And that actually sets me up when I was growing up and getting jobs after college. It makes it easier.
Yeah,
Yes,
for
especially
sure.
in Hawaii. Yes.
Yeah, of course. There's a lot more people you can meet
Oh,
as
yes,
well.
definitely.
My fun fact is I am fluent in one language.
All right.
I'm sure you can guess what it is. um, I don't have any other fun facts right now, but if I come up with any, I will let you guys know next week. But of course, you can see me and Brother Bruce are not alone. We have two guests today. A very special, a very happy couple who will be introducing their names, their locale, and their fun facts.
Okay, I'll start. My name is Sister Karen Aguinaldo. I'm from the locale of Waikaku, and my fun fact is that I probably get mistaken that I'm 16 years old most of the
I see
time,
that.
but I'm actually like closer to 30, so that's my fun fact.
Very
I have the same fun fact.
Great.
But my name is Brother Jamal. I'm from the locale of Waipau. Fun fact is I trained jiu-jitsu for like the past few months.
Oh, and
Yeah.
how's that going, brother?
It's fun. I like it.
Have you gotten hurt yet?
Yeah, I have like a injury, like a knee injury.
Oh, right now.
Yeah, but I still go. So.
Oh, okay. Wish you the best, brother.
Once a week, but yeah, I try to go maybe multiple times, but it's just kind of hard. With
Right.
work and stuff. Yeah.
And what got you interested in that? Was it just for fun? Or?
I used to wrestle in high school, so it's kind
Mm.
of like almost similar to
Mhm.
that. But
Nice. Awesome. Really, really great fun facts. So I guess we can get started reading some comments. Don't you think, Brother Bruce?
Yes, definitely.
Let's go ahead and read our first comment from someone who is always the first to comment on our INC radios. If you wanted to read that, Brother Bruce.
Yes, actually, Brother Joseph Rompal,
Mm-hmm.
he said, happy viewing from all local congregation of Kunia.
Yeah, 3 out of the 4 people here on this panel are from Waipau, so it's great to have some Pinoy representation mixed in. Next, we have Happy Aloha Friday po, brethren, hashtag Kali from our brethren there in Kalihi, from our Tita Aimee boy, Aloha Friday po, greetings from hashtag Makinig. We love you, Sister Aimee. Anything else you want to add on, Brother Bruce? Or you want to just jump straight into it? Jump straight into
Yes.
it. Perfect. I like that. If you wanted to get started on the first question or the second question.
Oh, yes. So, Brother Jamal, Sister Karen, what is the most interesting part of your job?
Or maybe let's ask them what their job is first, actually.
Right, exactly. What do you do?
I go first?
I can go first. Okay, so for work, I work in construction management, so I'm actually a project engineer.
Oh,
Wow. Very nice.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm a software engineer. Yeah.
So, okay, and what do you guys do for those jobs? What's the difference? Both engineers, you know.
We're both engineers, but I guess for me, I did go into civil engineering, but instead of going into design, which is what everyone kind of does, and I think a lot of people that do their type of civil engineers go into design, I actually went the construction route, and so I watch things get built, and in my role, I do the construction management, so I oversee a lot of stuff with managing a project, the whole life cycle from like pre-con to construction, and then after the fact also, and then dealing with contractors and the owners, and just making sure that the job gets done on time, on schedule, on budget, which is like the main important thing that everyone kind of looks for a construction project. So that's kind of what I do for work.
Oh, that's really nice. So you see projects through from the beginning to end. And are there times where you oversee multiple projects at the same time?
I could, but they try not to. But I know a lot of smaller firms would do that just because of staffing, and that's really stressful. I did that when I was working as a contractor, and it's so hard. I don't know how people do it. It's so stressful, but I don't do that.
Yeah, I can see why. So you're basically saying that you work on bigger projects.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
very
but my
fun.
focus will be the strong one.
Wow. Okay. How about you, Brother Jamal? What do you do for you?
It's a little bit different. I stay indoors, but I work for a company that makes self-driving trucks.
Wow.
And my role is more like full stack. So it's a term in like tech where you kind of like wear multiple hats. So like in software, you have
color hat? Or-
like you just basically do a lot of things. So like in software, like there's like the front end and the back end. So front end is everything you see. So like if you're on Instagram, everything you see, like sorry,
You're good, you're good.
you can see like posts and everything, anything you see. Basically the front end, and then the back end is the brains behind it. So how things kind of interact, how is everything linked up. Full stack is basically both of it combined. So I manage both the front end and the back end.
Wow, really cool. Self-driving trucks.
Semi-truck.
Semi-trucks.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like the 18 years.
Oh, okay.
Different.
Wait,
So like
so not self-driving.
they are.
Oh, they are. Oh, that's really
So
cool.
like delivery trucks, but then like I guess for state to state in the mainland, it'll be like they'll go state to state.
Oh,
So
wow.
instead of having like drivers drive it.
It'll that one. So
Wow.
that's the idea.
Are they on the road yet? Are you allowed to?
We're testing right now. I don't know if I'm able to say like. I mean, it's public info, so we're trying to launch in 2027.
Okay.
But yeah, we do have like safety drivers during the test, so it is driving on its own, but we have like a safety driver sit in the seat just to make sure it's actually driving.
so there's a video that someone is actually watching that person.
Yeah, so like there's a driver inside the driver's seat, just to make sure it's not like going off the road or doing anything crazy.
So is someone like controlling the truck off site, or is it just
No,
strictly
it's
self-driving?
strictly self-driving, so it'll just drive it up on its own. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow, really cool. Have you ever been in one of those while it was?
No, because
I'm scared.
the testing sites are in like the mainland, and I work remote, so
Oh, okay, great. It's great that it's flexible enough that you get to work here all the way here, instead of going to the mainland all the time. That's great.
Challenging at times too.
Yeah.
that's it though, because it's new technology, no one has ever done it before, so it's like everything is new. So there's a lot of googling, a lot of ChatGPT.
That's one thing. That's great.
But
all
you guys,
time.
but what's amazing is you guys work together, like you have like a team that collaborate, or it's just one
Yeah.
you doing the project and you're delegating.
Yeah. I work on there's a bunch of so there's like about maybe like 500 to 1,000 engineers
Oh.
in the company. There's like multiple teams that does like super specific things.
Mhm.
And so like my team specifically, there's about like maybe 5 engineers, and then within my group, like we work with other teams also.
Mhm.
In total, there's like probably about like 20, 30 engineers that work together closely.
And would you say that's the same for you, Sister Karen? If there's multiple engineers for one project, or is it just you overseeing that?
There would be like 2. And I think that's enough, to be quite honest, for my role, because what we do is just on the client's end. And so we represent the client and do what's best for them, what we think is best for them, and try to see as much as we can.
Mhm.
So it just takes about 2 to 3 people to do
Okay.
the job.
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah.
Working in teams and working in smaller teams. I like that. And would you say, comparing to Brother Jimwell, are you working with different teams like in different stages of the project?
No, you work with probably the same,
Okay.
like the whole life cycle of it. So it's better to have the same group of people,
Yeah.
because if something changes that you don't know, you're gonna be like, what happened? Where did that come from? There's so much questions, and you kind of have to get the cost or something later on at the end.
Yeah, I really like that. Anything else you want to ask for this?
So, Sister Karen, let me ask you: is it intimidating that you're in a men's dominant career path?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I was questioning it for a long time, and it's true. There's not that many girls in it, but slowly there is. But it was intimidating. But the men don't seem to bother me or treat me differently, maybe.
Okay,
So
that's good.
yeah, don't
good.
get taken seriously.
Yeah.
If anything, they're more aware that a woman is on site,
Alright.
so they question like, "Oh, why are you here?"
I
And then
see.
so we
Yeah.
get a little worried, like, "What are you gonna do?"
Great. And
All about
then
the talent.
yeah, exactly. And then what would you guys say influenced you to choose these career paths? Rock, paper, scissors. No.
I can go first. I don't know. I think I got lucky. Like in high school, I was super into like computers and tech stuff. I used to play a lot of games in high school, so I kind of had like a tech background, but I didn't really do programming at that time. But my parents wanted me to do like a 4-year degree, and so computer science was kind of like the go-to. So I mean, it's tech 4-year degree. I was like, okay, sure. So I did, and then I took my first like computer science class, and I enjoyed it. And,
Oh,
but that's it.
thank your parents. How about you, Sister Karen?
I could say that I like math, and then from there, I kind of just determined what career was implemented math that paid well. So it was engineering, and then it was just up to like what type of engineering. And I did want to do architecture at one point, but then I realized I wasn't creative enough to be doing that, and I was good at math, so I just took the opposite and I went to civil.
Hey, you know, we all have our different paths, and I like that you guys took what you were interested in during high school and put that into your careers now. I'm sure everyone would love to do that if they had the chance, but you know it's hard.
A lot of people might be asking why engineering? Why do you have to go through that career path if you can find other easier career? But what makes you guys pick engineering so very young after college or after high school?
I think what I mentioned was like just knowing that it'll pay off in the end, right? Because college is expensive and you have to pay for it. So I didn't want to kind of struggle to pay for college again. And also think about the future, how I wanted it to look like. I didn't feel like I wanted to struggle too. And college is really hard already, right? So
you might as well make it harder. But I would guess that you two enjoy your current jobs, you know? Yeah, great. And what would you say is your favorite part of the job?
Oh, my favorite part is seeing what was a plan become like an actual thing, right? Like I see the whole, like I always wanted to say like, oh, I built that, you know, like some people are like, oh yeah, I helped on that. So I can do that as my job, and I really like that part of it.
That's fun. And how long does it take for you to see a project from beginning to end? Or does it just depend?
It depends on like the scale, right?
Mm.
And if it's more money, it's gonna take a lot longer. Like one of the longer projects is the rail, and I was on that, and that's too long.
It's been too long.
Yeah,
It's still going.
it's still going, right? And that was like in 2017. So imagine if I was still there, I would be stuck there doing one thing. But then if it's just the building, it'll be like maybe it's 1 or 2 years,
Yeah.
3 years at most.
How do you better good one? What's your favorite part of your current job?
I'd say like solving problems. So like my every day is basically coding, like writing code to do a specific thing. So it's literally like solving puzzles. Like when you write code, it's like giving the computer instructions on how to do something. And so every day it's basically writing code. And so I don't know. For some reason, it's just me like solving problems. Kind of like solving math problems, to be honest. So I don't know. That's basically what I like about the job.
Really cool. I mean, what do you think, Bruce?
I think that says it all. I mean, Brother Jinwo, I like that you are problem solver, and that's how you challenge yourself, and that's what makes it fun in your case. But have you ever come across, or you, Sister Karen, when you have difficult times where you're stuck, and if you do have those challenges, how do you overcome those?
I think for my job, the difficult part would be like for my niche, it's just people. Like, so I, even though I am an engineer, I don't do technical things. I manage people, and that's the hard job because people, you don't know how they're going to react. You don't know what the next move is, what they're going to say, right? And every day is kind of different. So, and there's so much different stresses people are going through. So you don't know what attitude you're going to get. But just remembering for me, like, oh, everyone's human, right? You don't take things personally. They're going through something hard. That's fine. You don't take it with a grain of salt. You move on, but try to focus on what the main issue is, because there are many issues that come up in construction that can't be solved quickly, but people's money is on the line because they're paying for it still. So that's when the tensions get higher. But just remembering, like, okay, we just have to focus on this problem, and then everything will kind of get better.
Yeah. Well, when I think of, or when I think many people think of an engineer, they think of like just math, science, all that STEM stuff.
Right.
They don't realize that it also is customer service.
Yep.
So dealing with a bunch of different personalities, that can be really stressful. How do you manage that, sister?
Like I said, don't take things personally, and you have to talk to them outside of work. Like,
Oh.
don't really just talk about work, because work is not everyone's real like focus, I guess. Like, everyone has a life outside of work. And sometimes you see these people outside of work too, and you're like, oh, they have a family too. You know, like, they're human. They probably are thinking about something else after this, you know? So just realizing, like, oh, we all are thinking about something else because we technically don't really want to do this job, right? Like, we don't want to just do this all the time. So just be remembering, like, oh yeah, like, spend time with your family.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of like wants to do that, and that's how they relax. So yeah.
How do you better Jimmy? What's a difficult part of your job?
It's probably gonna be more on the technical side. So like, I don't know, you guys know bugs, right? Like bugs and like
Ethos.
yeah. But there's times where I'm assigned to like solve a bug in our code or our application. And so I don't know, for those who don't know what a bug is basically like behavior that your application is not supposed to do. And so like finding these bugs are like, sometimes it's so tedious and like it's so hard to find. Just because it could be like a tiny thing in like the code. Like simple as like a letter. Like a letter that's not supposed to be there, or like a colon,
or a period,
like a symbol that's not supposed to be there.
So
so yeah, your code has to be like super precise, and sometimes it's like super hard to find them. But yeah, sometimes like I would work on a bug and it would take me like maybe like 2 days or 3 days to find,
Oh.
and it kind of slows me down to do other stuff.
Mhm.
But that's like when I'm like super frustrated. But usually, like whenever that happens, I always ask for help.
Mhm.
But there's usually some like smarter person that comes in and solves it in like 5 minutes.
Perfect.
But
So for coding, is there like zero room for error? Like there's no imperfection at all?
there will be, but that's why. So we have like testing in place. So we like
Mhm.
code test our code. It's kind of
Oh,
weird.
cool.
Just to make sure that it's behaving as it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Especially like if you work in on an application that's like super um like like self-driving stuff.
Mm.
You don't want a bug and self-driving something like that, right? So something that deals with in
Like,
like
Mm.
sensitive stuff. So
Wow. Really cool. What do you think, Peter?
I think that's why humor is more important. It's not meant for us to, you know, they can't substitute us, but they can only use
Yeah.
us as a, to monitor and not to replace us, but just
Yeah.
to use us more like, we still need to be there.
Yeah.
With this.
Yeah, for sure. I totally get that. With all the like modern advancements, artificial intelligence like is crazy right now. There's so many different things like being added in our time now, and a lot of people don't realize that it's still humans behind that.
Mhm.
You can't really replace it. A human. I mean, I know a lot of people are being replaced by AI, unfortunately. But yeah, humans are still behind it all.
Mhm.
Really cool. Would you say your guys' profession is very high tonight?
I can analyze.
Like,
Is it like
Hmm.
there's a lot of competition?
Yeah.
Especially your coworker.
Oh,
Everybody wants to be top,
right.
wants to
Feedback.
succeed on a project. How do you guys see? How do you guys work together so that everybody happy?
I like that.
For me, I feel like it's not as competitive between each other
Mhm.
because we all have one goal is to build something.
Yeah.
And so we internally, you're already dealing with a lot of other parties outside of your team, but so you don't want to actually like have trouble within internally
Mhm.
because that's going to prevent you from succeeding. So for me, I don't think there's that much demand or competition internally. But I think for you,
I think for me, it really depends on your the um the culture of your company. Like if there's a lot of like I worked for a startup before this company that I work for now. There's a lot of smart people.
Mhm.
Like you guys would be like my team would be a bunch of PhDs from like the field of colleges. Um, and there would be a lot of like conflicting like ideas. Um, and but there was nothing like personal. It was just more of like kind of everyone has like their own strong opinion that they have to portray or come up with and how to solve stuff. And sometimes that kind of affects the progress of the project. It slows us down. Um, but usually like those ideas are what makes the application better because sometimes you try out different ideas and you don't know until you try it out.
Yeah.
In the end. But
so
I don't know.
your field is very competitive in general, like computer science in general,
Mm-hmm.
or software engineers in general.
Yeah, I'd say so because I mean I think it's like super like saturated now.
Everyone wants to be a software
That's why I
engineer.
took up jujitsu.
You should talk about like when you because at one point he applied to so many jobs. I would never have thought like he applied to hundreds of jobs.
Oh, okay.
I only got one offer. Like
Ah.
yeah, so it is competitive in that aspect of like
Very demanding.
yeah.
Like the interview process is super like intensive too.
Mhm.
Like typically you would have like 5 stages of interview, like one with the recruiter, another one with the hiring manager, and then another one with the team, and then you have an on-site interview. You sometimes it's like through Zoom, But
You get to
that,
like code too.
yeah, so that one is like technical.
Oh.
So you probably like interview with each person on the team, and then
Mhm.
give you like a coding exam or coding question that you have to solve within like 60 minutes.
Oh. Did you know the hiring process was going to be that difficult while you were studying, or was that a surprise?
I knew it when I started applying for interviews for internship
Mhm.
during college. I didn't expect it going into like computer science, but when I started trying to get internship, that's when I'm like, yeah, it's pretty hard. Especially like internship interviews are a little bit more simple because you don't have that much interviews. You just get one question and that's it. But for like actual like software engineering jobs, it's usually that intensive
I
just because
bet.
it's pretty competitive.
Wow. You're right.
I
That
know.
seems like a lot. But even if it does seem difficult, what would you guys say is the most rewarding part of your job?
Good question. I always tell him like when I do feel like I accomplish something at work is when I'm able to like manage a team or like tell
Mhm.
someone something or like so usually like I'm so young compared to everybody else that's been
Mhm.
working there
Oh,
already.
16. Really young.
Right? And so like it's hard to come off as like I know what I'm doing or I know
Mhm.
what I'm saying, right? And so but when I have to speak up and tell them, hey, you're doing that wrong, you're not supposed to be doing that,
Mhm.
it says it here, and they actually do listen, like that for me
Yeah.
feels accomplishing because it's like, oh, you know, yeah, right. And it's not like no one takes you not seriously. Like people
Yeah.
do treat you with respect if you know what you're talking about. So if that's for me, I feel accomplished when that happens. Yeah.
For sure. That, like, a lot of people might see that as such a small accomplishment, but when you're in a career where it's mostly male dominated and looking so young, it's hard for people to take you seriously. So that's honestly a huge accomplishment, even if it seems small to everyone.
Right.
How about you?
I'd say like the end result. Like I like to work in like companies where we're working on something that's uh, new and like hasn't been done before.
Mhm.
Like basically cutting edge technology. I just
Yeah.
like this company I worked for like software stuff.
Mhm.
The last one I worked for like crypto stuff.
Wow.
And then the company before that I worked for a local company here, and I wasn't as happy when I was working there just because I knew like the project I was working on wasn't as like cool,
Mm.
impactful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Not a lot of people would use it, so it's like
Um,
not as rewarding. Um, like I would put in so much hours, and I would get burnt out because I knew like it's not as impactful as I thought it would be.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'd say like I don't know, working on really cool stuff and
Really cool stuff.
new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. It's great to want to be like on the front face of innovation. Everyone wants to be a part of something new. So it's great to see you putting that showing that in your career. What do you think, Adrian?
I think so. I think you hit the right point, being innovative, because this is how you set yourself apart from others. And sometimes you need to stay innovative so that you keep on going. Because what's work today may not work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's how
Mhm.
business work. You have to innovate constantly
Right.
to
Mhm.
move ahead. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you guys are doing that.
Wow, thank you.
Wow.
That's a good
been
point.
Really, it was a really good point, and it's been a really, really good show. Unfortunately, we are almost out of time, so as you can see, it does go by really fast. But any last shout outs you want to give before we close off the show?
Shout out to my family.
They're in the back.
The Sacramento, the Boy family. Watahulo Tao,
Great.
Harwin. Po. Thank you for inviting us here.
Anytime. He'll invite you back as many times as you want. Trust me. Brother Jamal, any shout outs you want to give?
Shout out to District of Hawaii Pacific.
So everyone,
Shout out to the people watching because it's so late, to be quite honest.
it is so late. But glad you guys are spending your late night here, talking on INCRadio. It was so great to have you guys on. But before we close out, we always wanted to go over our upcoming activities. Brother Bruce, did you want to read what we have?
Yes, on May 25th, 26th, we have our UT Green basketball at the Pro City High School gym. So definitely be there or be square.
Yeah, exactly. Be there, be square. Be there. Show your pride for your locale.
That's right.
Wear your local colors. And also want to add on this Sunday. This Sunday is our CFO cares here on Oahu. It's going to be in Eva Beach.
Right.
Starting at 3 p.m. There you go. So please be sure to show up. Show your support. But anything else you want to add, Brother Bruce? Or thing good?
Before we go, we have to say thank you.
Before we go, we do have to say thank you. We always say thank you at the end of every show. But for every show, we always want to give a special thanks to our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo B. Manalo, our CFO Coordinator and CEBSI President, Brother Angelo Irani Manalo, our District Supervising Minister, Brother John H. Baitan, our Assistant District Supervising Minister, Brother Ador Apostol, and our CFO Overseer, Brother Danny Pacheco. And of course, thank you to all of the ministers, workers, families, wherever you may be. And a thank you to Carl Winsuna, who is always behind the camera, supporting us, watching us every show. Shout out to you, Brother Erwin. But that's it for our show. Thanks, Brother Jimwell and Sister Karen for joining us today. Thank you, Brother Bruce, for co-hosting with me. Thank you to me. But that's it for tonight's show. Good night, everyone. Stay safe and aloha.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Stay safe. Be prayerful.
Be careful. Brush your teeth. Wash your hands. Say your prayers. Good night.